The first Broadway show that I ever saw was Kiss Me Kate. I was in New York on a school trip. I wanted to see Beauty and the Beast, but the class last year had seen Beauty and the Beast. How long do you have, by the way? An hour? Hour and a half? Okay.
The Broadway First would be the first Broadway show I did, which was The Normal Heart in 2011.
I didn't want to be there. And then the show starts. Had no idea what it was. I was maybe 12, 13. And then Marin Maisie makes her entrance in this big hat. And she turns around in sunglasses. And it was just, I was sold. It was like heaven. I was in love.
I remember going on stage for the first scene of the first preview, and I finished the scene and I walked off stage, and I guess all the tension released. I burst into tears as soon as I got off stage.
The first time I ever set foot on a Broadway stage, I was doing The King and I at Lincoln Center, and I was the new kid on the block. And so I had a whirlwind 3-week rehearsal period, and the night that I had to go up, I just felt my heart beating out of my chest.
Hands down, the original production of In the Heights, and it was the first time I saw brown people on stage, and it just reinforced that I could belong here.
I like to think about in my first Broadway show, 6, the first Friday night that I had, I slipped and fell like you would have thought a banana peel was on the stage. I got up and kept going. And after the show, everybody was saying, "Oh my God, you didn't even miss a beat. The show goes on."
This is the first time I'm on Broadway. So that's a great first memory, first time. Last weekend was when I discovered what snob meant, Saturday night on Broadway, which is very exciting. It's when everyone gets together and drinks on Saturday night on Broadway after the second show.
I made my debut in The Little Mermaid, my first day of rehearsal. And I was very new to Broadway. I didn't know anything about musical theater like that. And we finished learning the first number, and they said, "Take it to the button." And I was like, what is that? So the choreographer laughed and then told me that the button is the end of the number.
I got to see that original production of Rent. That was the first Broadway trip that I ever had. And I remember being in my seat and feeling like my entire body was full of electricity.
I was probably 5 years old and went to go see Peter Pan and wanted to wait backstage to meet Sandy Duncan. And she went to sign my playbill and I said, "Is it true you have a glass eye?" So yeah, that was about my first show I ever saw.